Hello everyone, it's Sheree. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my craft room. I have been crafting all morning and just having a good time. So I wanted to start a new journal though, so I wanted to show you. I want to make some fabric covered Halloween journals, but I've been doing holiday journals in June and July. Halloween in June, Christmas in July. So I wanted a little break from the holiday journals. So I had this sitting out in my closet. I have I showed you a while ago that pile of book covers that I have, and this was one of them. It was sitting on top, and it called to me and said, this is the time to make me into a journal." So I started working on it, and I already got the page. I got the holes punched here, but I had to make where is it? Here it is. It's in the middle of my papers. I had to make a new back cover. I didn't have a back cover for this front cover. So I got some chipboard. It's pretty thick and strong and feels like it, like it probably was the original back cover, but it wasn't. I just cut it out to the shape of this cover and the front cover. Covered it with some pretty coffee dyed scrapbook paper on both sides and distressed around and things like that to make it look like it might have been the original cover. So it'd be like, here's the front, and you see the greens in here. It's a really pretty front cover, by the way. I don't know how old this book is. I don't have any of the pages except for a couple of blank pages from this book, but I think I haven't looked it up online to see, maybe what year it was from, but I think I'll look it up after this video and see if it's vintage or antique. I really don't know. It's at least vintage, but I don't know if it's antique. Is what I'm getting at. And so here's the back at the moment. And so I've got a few pages punched here. This is a page. Actually, that was a really good starting page, wasn't it? And maybe I'll leave that as my starting page, but it matches this paper here. And then this page right here is from the book. I already punched a couple of the pages, but I'll punch the rest of them when I get ready to bind the journal. But yeah, this is one of the pages from the book. You can see it's a little grungy, but that's just age. And then this page also right here is from this book. It was actually attached. They were actually attached to the cover still. But as I was trimming this to kind of cut off the extra, well, here's the spine, the original spine. So I was cutting off the spine, it was like this, and whatever. It wasn't together though with the back cover. It was just hanging on here on the front cover with those two pages. So as I was cutting this off, the pages came off. I couldn't keep them attached, but I'm going to cover this too at some point. But right now, today, I just want to make some pages. So I want to put some really interesting papers and eclectic papers in here. So I've got so far, you saw the scrapbook paper and the papers from the book. This is just a book page I had sitting here. And I had this sitting here from a previous journal that didn't get used in that journal. I have this right here it was a folder like this, and I cut it in two pieces to make two pages because this is going to be wire bound. It's not going to be signatures. So it's got August on it, and this is going to be made in August, so mostly during the month of August. So I thought that would be cute, and so these will be separated somewhere in here, but right now I've just got everything stacked right here. This was also a piece of ephemera that has to do with sewing. The Brooks School of Thread Techniques. Doesn't that sound interesting? Anyway, it's old. It doesn't have a date on it, but I thought it would be interesting to put in here. So let's see, the binding is going to be like that, and this will be like that. Not together, but I'll organize the pages later. I'm just putting the papers in here now, making sure they fit and everything. This is a piece of scrapbook paper that I just cut up. This one has a pocket. And this one it will be a fold out, so it will be like this. Or if you're, or like this. So that is fun. So now I need to make some more pages, so I'll show you what else I've pulled out. let me get one of those book pages to use as a template so we know what size we need. I've got my paper cutter here. I've got my glue in case I need it. I was just using it, so I need to put my pin back in the top. And in fact, if you want to hear a funny story, it's funny but not funny. It's funny, but it was kind of a pain because I was in the middle of making this video. Let's craft while I tell you the story. And here's all my eclectic items I've pulled out for this journal. I have it all piled right here. And I've made a few of these with my new, I got a new punch. I had the old one. It was the little bind it all type of Zutter, binding little machine. I have had that for years, since like 2015. And I just decided to get a bigger one because I liked making these journals. I liked making these little metal coil journals, but the little, it's a little bit, it's not hard, and it can be done, but it's a little more challenging if you have, because the little Zutter only has 6 holes. So if you want to do this all the way down, you have to go like 6 and line everything up, and sometimes you can be off and you ruin your cover. So I just like, let me see if I can get myself a big one. Let me see the prices, and then much to my surprise, the prices weren't so bad. So I got myself a bigger one so I can just one punch and it's punched, if you know what I mean. So because I really, I like making these so much, so it was worth me, getting that. So let's see, let's punch some pages and I'll tell you the story, the not so funny story. So let's see, this needs to be cut off a little, well, maybe not too much, a sliver. So this was from something that I had, these little craft pages, probably from another journal or planner, and it has 6 punches here for a 6-ring journal or planner. But I thought I would turn it around because if I punch here, I'm going to be punching through those holes and it's going to be a mess. So I thought, let me turn them around. And I need to cut a little. I don't really even need to cut off any. I don't think I'm going to cut off any. I think I'm going to leave it for that, like that for now. And then if I need to cut it off later when I'm actually, they're actually in the journal, I can, but it's just the same size. So yeah, I don't think I do. Okay, so those are done. Okay. But then you can, the thing about doing it like this is you can weave something through here, a ribbon or something, or you can put several little ribbons and just tie little bows out here. Like you could do 6 different little ribbons or some kind of twine or something, and just tie each one for that little kind of, that would look kind of cool on the edge of your journal, you know what I mean? So you can do fun things when you have holes on that side. So okay, those are done. That was easy. So the story is, I was in the middle of making this video, and I was about 15-16 minutes in, and the electricity goes out. So my phone was still on. I still could have recorded, but it was dark in here. So I was like, okay, I don't think this is going to work. I don't think people want to see a dark video where I'm trying to craft and can't see what I'm doing. So I had to start over. But I went out to see, okay, I like that. Yeah, this I got a couple of these in Happy Mail. They're like time cards, or it says Scantron. I guess, is it a time card? I don't know. It says A, B, C, D, E here. I don't know if it could be some kind of a test. It says instructor use only. So this could be some kind of a test card too. But anyway, I noticed they were about the width of this page. So I thought they would be cute little, this would be a cute page. I have a couple more, so if I want more in here, I could go get them. But I just folded this up to make a pocket, so I think that'll be a cute pocket. Let me see if I want it this way or that way. I think I'm going to put it this way. This way has the little box here that could be written in, and yeah, I think this is really cute. So let's go ahead and do that. It's papery. I have some time cards that are cardstock, but this is papery, so really fun for a page. I mean, a cardstock one would be too, but I just noticed these. They're my cardstock ones are a little thinner, so I just noticed these were about this, the width of my pages here. So I thought this would be a fun page. And this is going to be a vintagey journal, but I didn't want to just have, you know, all coffee dyed paper or, you know, a lot of boring pages in here. I wanted to have interesting things like this. So anyway, so I went out, I looked around and to make sure it was the whole house that was out of electricity, and it was. Oh, this is a nice folding page. So let's see, maybe I'll keep it a folding page, but I need to make it a little different so that it can fit in here. Plus it's too tall. So yeah, this could be really interesting too. So let's cut off a little bit. Let's see which side. This side has the year on it. So 1938. 1938 this is from. So that is also very cool. Vintage paper. But yeah, I went out of my craft room first to see if it was the whole house, and it was. And then I was like, okay, what's going on? Is everybody's electricity out? Do I need to look online and see what's going on at Duke? We have Duke, what's called Duke Energy in North Carolina. And I was like, that's a pain in the butt, so, or neck, whatever. So I didn't go on Duke yet, Duke's website. So I then decided to look out the back door, see if I could see anything. And there's my husband. I'm like, and he was walking around like, so I was like, hey, what's going on? The electricity is out. He's like, it is? I was just taking a picture of something. And I was like, well, did you do something, you know, to make the electricity go out? And so he said, let me look. And so he's looking, and sure enough, the next few seconds after I went out and checked in with him. Let me cut that one more time. I don't like how that cut. Okay, I think that's better. It was kind of a weird cut. Okay, so yeah, a few seconds later, electricity comes back on. I'm like, oh, okay, he did something. He was taking a picture. He was taking a picture. He said, well, when my son asked him to take a picture of something. So it was something in some kind of a, what did he say? A main breaker box. That's a new one that we put in for the remodel upstairs. And it's for the air conditioning that's upstairs. And so it's some kind of a new breaker box. And he was taking a picture because the electrician has to come out and still kind of finish that up. So he's taking a picture. And somehow he hit this main breaker that turned off the electricity in our whole house. So I was like, well, so he turned it back on, but then I had to, the painful part was I had to, you know, reconnect my internet on my TV here that I use for my timer in my craft room, and I had to, I was trying to reconnect Alexa out in the living room because I was having to reset the router and all that, and it wasn't resetting, but then I came in here and tried the TV again, and it was connected, so I don't know what's going on with Alexa, but anyway, my TV works, so I can have my timer. I've got lights. I've got wireless internet, so I'm not using all my data, although, yeah, that doesn't really matter because I have Verizon, and it's unlimited. But, okay, let me see if this is the right size. I don't know why I'm measuring with this card, because that is going to be the next thing we put in. But anyway, that's my story. That's what happened. Oh, here's my page. I'm getting confused because I'm talking too much. I'm concentrating on telling you the story properly. Okay, so we've got it here. So this is going to be where it's punched in, and then it'll fold out like this. So that is cool. Then you turn over. You have writing space here. Let me make sure it's square. And that's another page. Okay, that's cool. And I preserved the date there, so you can see the date. And this was from Virginia Holding Company, this piece of ephemera. I got a few pieces of these from the antique store that went out of business in my town, and my kids, that's the ephemera that my kids had picked up for me. So this card I thought I would put in here. It's a Christmas card, but I just like the colors. It's green, like the cover of the book. I want some color in here. I don't want it just to be boring, like I said, and all neutral. So the last one I did for a book like this, for a journal like this, that has the metal coil was I just cut off all the folds. So there's like 2 folds here. This is, like you just saw, one that unfolds all the way. And so I just cut off all the folds, which I thought worked out really well. I thought it was really cool. I'm going to do that again. And then the idea is, what I did in the previous journal was put these all together. So it's almost like a little booklet inside the journal. So it would be like this. Let me see the width. The width is perfect. I don't have to cut off any of the width. I just cut off that little fold, which really was nothing. And then you have like a little booklet like this, so you can open it up and have all of this space for writing or whatever you want to do. And it's just a nice old card here, Forget-Me-Not. And like I said, I like the colors. But when it's in the journal, someone can also do things with it, like if they wanted to make these 2 pieces pockets, they could glue here and here, here and here, and then they could even punch a little notch right here and have pockets. Or they could glue it back together. They could glue it not back together, because this was the card where it turned this way and the fold was here, but they could glue it here and at the bottom and here, do a little notch here, and then have top pockets. So lots that can be done with something like that. Let me get my template out here. So that's what I'm talking about with interesting pages. And then this is a piece, I haven't been using any of this, but it's a piece of resume paper. And I haven't been using it. It's almost like coffee dye paper, but light. Look at the difference in the color there. But it's just another colored paper that's not white. It's beige. Try to get this to the right size. But it's pretty much beige. So let's see what I want to do here. So I've already got, let's see, I've got 1, and I think I have another flip out in here. Let me see. I don't want to like have every page being a flip out, you know what I mean? And so I want some normal size pages in here, and some pockets and some flip outs. So I have 2 flip outs, so that's not too many flip outs. So let's see what we got here. We've got this that I folded to the correct size. So if I wanted to keep the width here, and not make this a little scrap, I could fold that in. Let me cut off the bottom, and we'll go ahead and keep that. We'll have, instead of, if I were to make this the exact size of the page that I need, like this size here, I would have 2 scraps. So instead of having 2 scraps, we'll have 1 scrap. It's just, I try to keep control over my scraps, which, is not easy, but little things like this is what I do to try to keep some type of control over my scraps. So we've got the right page size. Let me see. Yes. Oh, it looks like I need another sliver off the bottom. I don't want to make them longer than this, because then this came right out of the book, so I don't think I should make them longer than that, or else I'll be in trouble later trying to cut off slivers when it's bound in the book or something. Okay, so then I'm just going to fold this. And I like little tuck spots like this, just little pieces like this that you fold over, because then that also gives the new owner of the journal options. They can leave it like that as a little extra paper, or they can glue it down here and have a tuck spot. So, and of course it's a pretty color. It's just plain, but it's a pretty color, and it's wide open for writing, for decorating, type thing. So let's see what else I pulled out here. These book pages here are just book pages, but I haven't, in my last few journals, like the Christmas journals and things, I haven't really put any text book pages. So that's another thing I would, besides like that resume paper that I wanted to use. This is another thing that I want to use. So I just need a little sliver off the bottom and the side on this one, which will be just cutting off blank space. And that type of scrap I wouldn't keep. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not keeping this. This goes in the trash. So but I am recycling a book page that is probably from a book that I rescued from the thrift store that, you know, would have been thrown out if I didn't bring it home. So, you know, it's all good. All right, let's see if I cut that one right. Oh, wow, that's really good. Okay. Okay, looks good. Okay, so, but that was actually 2 pages. These are pretty thick pages, too. I don't know what book they're from. It says Sharp Arrows here on the top for this chapter or whatever, but if you ever get a book where you find a word that you don't like, just cover it up with a butterfly or something. Oh, no worries. This was from an end page from a book. This was, and let's see what else I have here. Here's another. I might not use this one, actually. I didn't realize I pulled this out because it's from, you know, a book, but I already have 2 pages from this book like this, so I probably don't need that one, but I'm going to go like this right here. But I do want to use this one. I thought it was so pretty. It looks like scrapbook paper, but it's not. It's the flyleaf or the end page from a book. That one must be old. I have a little bit of old. It doesn't smell or anything. It just get into my allergies all of a sudden. So that must be, maybe it's really old or something. But yeah, I have to wash my hands or something. I feel my head's clogging up. It'll clear in a second. No, it's fine. It doesn't, it's weird. Maybe it's not even that, but these are, this is not old, but this is old too. So, let me see how I did on that one. I need a little sliver off the one end here. And this one has some shading down here, so I'm going to cut it off there. So I hope everyone's having a good day today. It's Sunday. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of crafting this weekend, and so got together with my family yesterday. Okay, so this is a sewing instruction piece. I took a bunch of these, not a bunch, but a little bit of these sewing instruction papers, and one night for my TV time, I cut them into pages like this, and I just have a stack of them in my closet so that when I want to pull one out, it's ready to go. And all I have to do now, like normally I would be, you know, in signature books, I would just use it like this, but for this journal, I'm just going to cut off the fold, and it's actually pretty much the right size. So by the time I cut off the fold, which will be a little sliver over here, I will have this exact size that I need. So those come in handy, things like that. Doing things like that ahead of time. There we go. Exactly what I needed, and it's a very interesting sewing instruction page. So there we go. So these hymn book pages I like to use in these little journals. Like I have bigger music pages, but then I would be cutting them down, making a lot of scraps. So the hymn book pages pretty much are, you know, they're smaller. So like what I'll do is just cut off the extra. First I'll cut off this extra blank space and cut right up to the music. And those little scraps will be trash, speaking of scraps. And I think I'm going to cut right down to the number here, the page number on the top. Wait, let's see. A little bit more. Let me make sure there we go. I think that looks good. I still have most of the page number. And then there's a little fold on this one. Little dog-eared there. And let's see if we can get that now under my... I'm cutting two papers here at one time, so okay, I'm going to go right up to the music again and see if these are the right size once I get all that extra cut off. And I need to cut a little bit off the blank space off the bottom, and we should be good. All right. So, yes, I have some of these stacked in there too, the hymn book pages. that I've already taken out of hymn books so that I can use them in books. And if they were together, I left them together in case I wanted to put them into a signature. So that's these two are ready to go as pages. Okay. So what else did I pull out? I pulled out coffee dyed paper. Of course, I want some in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I pulled out and 3. I pulled out one. This one's like what I call my grungy coffee dyed, and these are my regular coffee dyed. So of course I have to have some coffee dyed paper in here. Let's see what else I have before we do the coffee dyed paper in case I run out of time, because I'm just about to run out of time. I have this, some kind of like a check register, but big. So I don't know what this was for. They all say 2,500 right up here, balance forward. So I don't know why they would all have. I don't know if this was for school or what, but anyway, I thought they were cool. So I'm going to turn them this way. And let me see how these will fold. So, yeah, let me fold this here. Well, I want to keep this. And I guess I don't need that blank part. Let me cut that off. I'm trying to preserve the lines and the boxes and things. Okay, so let's see how that is. Let me do this side first. So about like that. And then right on this line right here, I can fold. And, all right. Oh, wow. Okay, so if I cut this here, then I'll just have a little piece to fold in. All right. Because it's blank on the back, so let's do that. Let's cut the fold off. Maybe when I do my pages, I will show you the new machine, my new little binding machine. Well, it's not little, it's kind of big, but I'll show you my binding machine. And I don't think I've put it on my Amazon list yet, because I wanted to make sure I was going to keep it and that I liked it. And same with this paper cutter. I have added this paper cutter to my Amazon list. But I don't think I've added the binding machine, but I'll show it to you and maybe add it. Okay, so this is a little bit, this is a little bit long, but not enough to make a pocket or anything. So why don't we just cut off this column here? We'll just cut off that column. Well, maybe not the whole thing. Half of that column. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I think that'll work. Will it? Yes. Okay, so that one will be a page, and then this one will be a page, and we'll fold it in so that. And then this one will have, this side will have a couple of lines on it from the part we folded in, like that. So if someone wanted to, like I could leave it like that, and if someone wanted to, they could glue that whole thing down and just as like a decoration and then go from there, whatever they wanted to do. But, or they can leave it as a tuck spot or flip out. I like to give my friends that buy my journals, I like to give them options. So, and by friends, I mean all of you all. Let me fold that right there because I need a cut right there. So, all right, I don't know. I think I did that right. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Okay, another page. So I've been finding that about 42 pages and 42 separate like this fit in this the rings that I use, the 1-inch coil or metal O-rings. So that's nowhere near 42 pages yet, but we've got all of these in here too. So we're getting there. We're getting there. It does take a while, as you can see, just from this video, to cut and figure out 42 pages. I wouldn't say it's any harder. It might be a little bit more work actually because I have to cut, you know, like you're seeing, like instead of just folding them in half, I have to cut every one if they're not the right size. So I guess that could be considered more work. I don't consider it work because it's so fun, but let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, I didn't realize I pulled this out. I didn't think I meant to, but this is a iron-on transfer. I actually need to just take this in for my TV time and cut it up, but I thought it could be pages. It could be pages in a journal. I just need to cut it up. I might have showed you that during a Thrifty Thursday. So I'm going to put that out here so I can take it when I watch TV again. I'll cut that up. And you saw my coffee dyed pages. I also have this. Well, I have this. It's from a music book. I wanted to see if I could make it into a tuck spot. Like it would just be part of it because, you know, here's my page. And this is cardstock, so I'd have to be like cutting it down quite a lot, but I think it would be really cute or fun. So it could be like this, you know, cut it here, make it a tuck spot, like that, or say I cut it here and use this piece separately. So just say that's cut off. It could be this way. Could be this way. I think, and it could be a tuck spot this way. So, I don't know. I don't think I like it that way, though. I think I would like it this way. What do you think? Let me know which way, if you like this. I think it's cool. I think you would like it. But which way? I think this way. But, let's see, so I would glue it here, or I could sew it on. I might sew it on because this is, it's not super thick, but it's just, I don't know. I get the feeling that I would need to sew it on. So I could sew it here and here. And then, see, it's not laying flat. Well, I would sew it here too. All along there. And so if I did that, I think it would lay as flat as it could. But I think it would really be cool on the right page. So I have to see what page would be strong enough to support this. And like I said, I would cut this piece off and then cut it down. And I could even leave these on there and glue these on the other side as just like a fun little thing. Well, it would just be one of them because the other one would be cut off. But anyway, that's something I pulled out. And then this I pulled out. This is, I showed you this in one of my Thrifty Thursdays a couple months ago. And maybe it was a few months ago. But it's a little bookkeeping record booklet. And I think there was a date. Was there a date in here? Not seeing one there. But it's, you know, it's got writing on it, in it, but not very much. Just like, and it's got different types of pages in here. So I thought some of these would be fun to put in here. Because I haven't used any of these yet. So I brought that out. So we'll be putting that in. The coffee dyed paper, which I already showed you. And this I pulled out. This is a little, I'm trying to think of where I got this. I don't know. I don't remember. I think I got it free somewhere. I just don't remember where I got it. But anyway, I guess I already took it apart. And I was going to, like, I wish I remembered where I got it. It was, I showed you in one of my, I don't even know if I showed you in my Thrifty Thursday. I might have, but it's got all these different symbols on here and things. So I thought if I cut this down to fit, some of these pages down to fit, they could be really interesting pages. I mean, this looks like hieroglyphics over here, so just picture that as a page. Or this one has all these numbers on it. That would be an interesting page. See how every page has different little symbols and lines and dots and stars and sign language and just all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I pulled that out because I thought that could be really interesting. And that's what I meant by I want a little color in here. I want a lot of interest, not just plain Jane neutral coffee dyed pages, which I love, but I wanted some interest in here too. So anyway, I'm going to stop here because I think my time's up, but I hope you enjoyed the beginning of this little journal, and I think it's going to be fun, a fun little journal when I get done with it, and really interesting. So I'll see you in my next video. Stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not, so you'll get a notification. Especially hit the little, the little bell and the little all. And yeah, let me know what you think and say hi in the comments. And don't forget to like. That really helps. If you like someone's channel, that really helps them out. If you hit that little thumbs up. I know I forget, and I try to do that first thing when I go to a channel. If I'm already subscribed and everything, and I want to watch their video, if I'm in a place where, on my phone or my computer or whatever, where I can hit the thumbs up. You can do it on your TV too. I try to remember to do that. So otherwise, if I watch the whole video, then I'll go to another video, and then I forget, right? So I try to hit the thumbs up right away, so I can help my favorite friends there. So thanks a lot for watching today. I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day.